Okay, so first of all, what's your name?
My name is Erin.
And where are you from?
I'm from America.
I can tell from your accent. So, what do you think of Indonesia?
Let's see. Well, I really enjoy Indonesia. I enjoy Bandung, especially because of the weather. It's not as hot. Other places in Indonesia are very hot. The people are friendly. The food is delicious. Yeah, I just enjoy living here. So that's why I keep coming back.
Oh, really? So, how many times have you been to Indonesia? Is it your first time or your second time?
So this is my third time in Indonesia, yes.
Okay, and what do you think of the culture?
The culture, I like it. I enjoy it. It's definitely interesting. Me and one of my friends, she's from America too, were commenting the other day about how it's fun to watch when people like come into a new place and they greet everyone, or when they leave they have to say bye to every single person. That's like a cultural thing that is Indonesian. And what else? Yeah, I've enjoyed getting to know the culture. The culture here is very warm, very friendly, very like relaxed. Y'all like to just hang out and talk and get to know each other. You're not concerned. In America, we're very concerned about time. But here, y'all are very relaxed. Like, if you want to stay in a coffee shop and hang out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine. Whereas in America, like, if you go and meet someone for coffee, probably like 1 hour, and then you're like gonna go do something else, maybe 2 hours. But time is very important in America, which it's still important here, but it's very much more relaxed.
Well, that's very interesting, actually. And what makes you come to Indonesia?
So the first time I came to Indonesia, I was volunteering here at the English Center. The second time, I was in charge of the English Center because Ibu Jane and Pak Steve were going back to America. And right now, I'm here because I just want to live here. So I'm learning Bahasa Indonesia right now, studying the language, studying culture. Yeah, because I just enjoy living here.
That's great. I'm very happy to hear that. And what do you like the most about Indonesia?
What do I like the most? I think probably the thing I was talking about earlier about just it's relaxed.
Okay.
Like there's not. I mean, I know there is like pressure on people for like getting jobs and working and stuff, but I feel like just in general everything is more relaxed and chill. Not so much pressure all the time to be somewhere and do something. What else? I love the food too. So many different kinds of food, and it's all delicious.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite is probably satay ayam
Okay.
or bubur ayam.
That's pretty much the same like me.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, nasi goreng, mie goreng.
Yeah. And do you think what makes Indonesia different than any other country, or maybe from your country, America?
I think here there's definitely all the different sukus, all the different languages, which is very interesting to me. A lot of people here know multiple languages. They know their native like their native suku. They know the national language. They also probably know some English sometimes, and then they might also know other languages from Asia. And so I think it's interesting how, I don't know, much knowledge people have here. And also just, what else? It's different in that, yeah, I think it's very diverse, but there's still a lot of harmony here. Like everyone still gets along because there are the different religions here too, and I feel like for the most part I know here in the city, people get along and they're respectful and they want to have a conversation about anything and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's pretty much our people. And what do you think of the people? Do you like the people, or have you ever feel annoyed by the people or something?
No, yeah, I like everyone here so far. People are friendly. At first, I learned recently it's very cultural thing to ask, like, when you're walking down the street for someone to ask, like, "Mau kemana?" Like, where are you going?
Yeah, yeah.
And, like, when I was first here, like, a couple years ago, that was kind of, I was like, why is everybody always asking me where I'm going? Like,
It seems like minding someone else's business,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Like, in America, you don't ask, like, a stranger, like, where are you going? Like, it's kind of weird, but here it's, like, normal. And, like, I recently learned, like, that's just a cultural thing. Like, how are you doing? Kind of, like, in America, we would just be like, how are you? Or maybe, like, sometimes we don't even talk to strangers or anyone that's just walking by. So, yeah, that's something that at first was annoying, but now I understand.
Okay, you know that usually when a foreigner comes to Indonesia, there will be a lot of people, some random people, who will ask for pictures, right?
Yeah.
And how about you? Have you ever been asked for pictures from some random strangers on the street, or maybe on some tourism places, like maybe in Bandung or somewhere?
Yes, I have asked for random pictures. A lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, like random, like ibu-ibu will just grab me
Yeah.
and just take a picture, and I'm like, okay. Like, they don't even ask most of the time. Other people like ask, and I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, you can take a picture. But sometimes, yeah, people will just grab me and take a picture, and I'm like, okay.
And how do you feel about that? Do you feel annoyed, or you feel like that is rude or something?
Yeah, I mean, when they just grab me and kind of don't really ask, or they're already grabbing me and then asking, that's kind of like, I mean, you asked, but not really.
Okay.
You know, whereas if they ask, I don't mind. Like, if you ask, like, will you take a picture, like, boleh, you know, I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, like, tidak apa-apa. But when, they do it without asking, or do it, like, in a rude way, like, just grabbing me, it's a little, annoying sometimes, but I don't mind.
Okay. Well, I think that the only problem there in your situation was the language, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I've experienced a lot of things like that as well. On January, I met a Dutch people.
Okay,
I met Dutch people, and we become friends. And when we're talking, we're hanging out at the museum actually, and suddenly there are some ibu-ibu, and then grab them, and then they only talk to me like, Mbak, saya izin foto sama bulenya. Ah ya, silakan.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, that is surprising. And at some point, me as an Indonesian, as a local, I kind of feel embarrassed about that. And I asked my friend, how do you feel about that? Well, I'm fine, but sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, actually, there is something that I really concerned about Indonesian people, because sometimes they're asking for pictures to random strangers, especially foreigners. I kind of feel embarrassed at some point, but well, okay, it's not every day for them to see foreigners, such people. Well, we just have to tolerate them.
Yeah.
And I feel really deeply sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, next question. Is there anything that you don't like about Indonesia?
Don't like. Okay, so it's not really something that I don't like necessarily. It's just like not common in my culture, and not, so in Indonesia, a lot of times, I think in modern places in Bandung, they've gotten better. But a lot of times, like, the bathroom is all wet. like,
Yeah.
and that's a pet peeve of mine. It's just a cultural thing. Like, we don't get our bathrooms all wet
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we use the bathroom.
Because you guys use the toilet paper.
Yeah, because we use toilet paper. So that's one thing that sometimes I get like annoyed or just kind of like, why? Why is it all wet? But yeah.
How many cities in Indonesia that you have ever visited?
I've visited a lot of cities. I've been to Jakarta. I've been to Cirebon.
Cirebon, seriously?
Yeah. Purwakarta.
Purwakarta, seriously.
Yeah.
My best friend came from there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been to Garut. I've been to Bali. I've been to Batu Caras. Where else? I think that's about it right now.
I think that she's got more experiences than me. Like, yeah, also I have been to some of those cities, but I've never been to Batu Caras, and I don't know where is that.
Yeah, Penta Batu Caras. It's in West Java still, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but
Yeah.
I've never been there.
You
And
have
it's
to go.
really, actually, quite interesting that not many foreigners would come to such small cities like Purwakarta or Cirebon or Garut. Not many foreigners know about those cities. And how do you know about those cities?
So, Garu, I went a couple years ago when it flooded, and I helped. I was volunteering and helping, like, donate stuff. Purwakarta, I went there with one of my friends. She's originally from Purwakarta, but then Cirebon. She now lives in Cirebon, and so I went to visit her in
Oh,
Cirebon.
that's great. And have you ever had any bad experience in Indonesia, or maybe an unforgettable moment when you're here?
Unforgettable moment. I've had a lot of just like really good experiences here. I love, like, as you've heard, I've traveled many places, so I like to go, and there's a lot of pretty nature here in Indonesia, so I like to go see the waterfalls, and some of them I'm just amazed, like how does this exist? Like, I don't know, it's so pretty, so beautiful. And just the different, mountains, going hiking, and just I've had a lot of different experiences.
Okay, that's great. So, give me 3 words that describe Indonesia.
3 words. Beautiful, diverse, and for me, peaceful.
Peaceful. All right. Wow. One last question. This is actually a bonus question. Do you have any plan to go anywhere around around Indonesia other than those cities that you have ever been to, or other than Bandung?
I want to go. One of my friends moved to Lombok, and I want to go to Lombok. And then I have not gone to Yogyakarta yet, and I think that's a must. So
Pretty much.
so I want to go to Yogyakarta.
I recently just came back from Yogyakarta.
Oh, yeah?
On January, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. That was really great.
Yeah,
It's really fun. And you should definitely go there.
for sure.
And if I have to recommend you some places, I would say probably Candi Borobudur.
Okay.
You heard about that? Nah? That's a temple.
Okay.
Oh, if you want to see some footage about that, I actually made some kind of YouTube videos, a vlog. Well, the vlog's kind of a little bit long, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're interested on that, you can try to just skip those. And I showed some places in Yogyakarta like Malioboro and Candi Borobudur especially. And then I went to Mount Merapi. Have you heard about Mount Merapi?
I don't think so.
That's very famous, a very famous mountain. But you can't really come up to the mount itself, but you just around the Mount Merapi. Like in Merapi, there used to be some volcano accident, and well, people will show you around the houses that are damaged by the volcano eruption and so on. Not that interested, but if you want to, you might want to go there. Well, I think that's the end of the interview.